Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police with Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog breaking the trail in the relentless pursuit of lawbreakers in the wild days of the Yukon. Back to the days of the gold rush as Sergeant Preston with his wonder dog Yukon King meets the challenge of the Yukon.
This is the Yukon, the territory patrolled by Sergeant Preston. A quiet, peaceful land until the gold rush of 1898 brought hordes of gold seekers into the area. Near the little settlement of Dundee, old Ben Taylor had staked out a claim. Not a rich claim, but enough to satisfy the needs of himself and his orphaned grandson, Bobby.
Grandpa.
Hi, Bobby. Around Mounts today, Bobby. Not bad, eh?
We're doing fine.
You know, that makes our take around $1,000 this month. Yes. So as soon as I wash up and we have some supper, Bobby, we're going to take that over to Dundee. Put it in Mr. Weber's safe. Huh? Yes, sir. I can recollect one time when I was taking some of that dust over to Selkirk. Yes, I thought that's long before you come to live with me, Bobby. Well, thanks. And you know, I no sooner got there, and there was a big robber holding up the trading post.
Gee, Grandpa, what did you do?
Well, sir, I just pulled out my 6-shooter and went busting right on in.
Gosh, then what happened?
Well, knowing my reputation, the robber just dropped his gun and give up, just as meek as a lamb. Of course, I turned him over to Sergeant Preston.
You worked a lot with Sergeant Preston and his dog Yukon King, didn't you?
Well, like I said, him and me were just as close as two peas in a pod, you know? And when he had a real tough job, he always came to me for help.
Gee willikers. Is it true that King won't mind anyone but Sergeant Preston? Mr. Weber says so.
Between you and me, I am the only other person that King will mind. Because we work together so much, you know? And the sergeant and me, we done run down a lot of gold thieves together.
Weren't you even just a little bit scared?
Me scared? Shucks, I don't know the meaning of that word. Well, what's the idea of blocking the trail?
Got a little business with you, partner.
Now, look ahead, gents.
Shut up and reach.
They're after our gold, Grandpa. What are you going to do?
There is nothing I can do. They got the drop on me.
Not bad. At least $1,000. Now, if you know what's good for you, don't try to follow us. If you do, we'll kill you. Come on.
Right there! Hey!
That's my good, Grandpa. Let's go after them.
Well, they got too much of a head start on us now. And besides, my fingers feel like they're almost frozen off.
They don't know who you are, Grandpa. Aren't you going to catch him and teach him a lesson?
Never mind that now, Bobby. Here, you get back in the sled. Come on, keep warm now. Here, put this away. Come on, now, keep warm. Hey!
Yes, sir, Ben. Those crooks sure took a big chance sticking up an old gunslinger like you.
I told you they surprised me. They'd have never gotten away with it if they hadn't.
Why didn't you track them down and run their heads together? Like the time you worked with Sergeant Preston up in the Klondike.
Enough, enough, gentlemen. Oh, you should be ashamed. I will send in the report about your loss to Monty headquarters at Dawson, Ben. Perhaps maybe they can recover your gold, eh?
Thank you. Thank you, Hans. Come on, Bobby. We better be getting along. soon as I get you home, I'm coming back here and follow them thieving polecats. They just can't get away with stealing old Ben's gold. Yes, sir. Following their tracks would be a lead pipe cinch. Why, I can remember once when Sergeant Preston and I
Let's go, Grandpa. I'm getting cold.
Ho! Down, everybody. Down. Down, boys. Down, Chick. Here, King.
Come on up here, boy. That's old fella. Come on, let's go.
Come on.
Oh, so it's Sergeant Preston. How are you?
Hello, Hans. How are you?
Oh, fine, fine. Hello, King. You here on police business? No?
Yes. I'm looking for a couple of men. Duke Larson and Red Brody. They're wanted for armed robbery. Last reports had them headed in this direction.
Say, maybe them is the two thieves who held up your old friend Ben Taylor this afternoon, huh?
My old friend Ben Taylor?
I was only making jokes. I know you do not know him.
You say he was held up by two men. I'll check into the matter the first thing in the morning.
It is about his little grandson, Bobby, that I'm worried. He's such a fine little fella and so crazy about his grandfather.
Why? What's the matter?
Well, you see, Ben, he's always telling big stories about himself to anyone who will listen. Like working with you and King on tracking down crooks.
Ben Taylor. Yes, I think I do remember him. I met him in the Klondike some years ago. Always had a big yarn to spin.
But Bobby believed him. You see, Bobby always thought that his grandfather is a big hero. Till the holdup today.
Oh, I see. And now the boy's lost faith in his grandfather, is that it?
Poor little fella. It always broke his little heart when some Dumkov today was making fun of his grandfather.
Boy's faith in his grandfather is a wonderful thing. Maybe I can do something to restore it. I'll see you later, Hans.
Come on, King.
What's the matter, Bobby? Don't you feel good?
I'm all right.
Bobby, don't get the wrong impression of me. I just didn't want to start any shooting when you were along. I was afraid you'd get hurt. Well, why, I wasn't scared. I can remember one time up in Selkirk when Sergeant Preston and me, we went there. Oh! Well, why, Sergeant Preston, I'd recognize you any place. But what are you doing here?
Oh, Hans Weber told me about the robbery. Thought maybe you might give me a description of the men.
Oh, some other time, Sergeant. I just can't seem to think. I got up this morning and my grandson was gone. Sergeant, I gotta find him. I just gotta find him before he gets lost or runs into a snowstorm.
Did you pick up his trail?
Oh, I did, but it was pretty covered with snow. By now it's all covered. He must have left hours ago. He went east towards Dawson.
Why'd he leave then?
Well, I guess he don't trust me or believe me anymore. It's true what they say, and I'm just yellow. I'm a scared old goat with a big mouth and when to shut up.
Takes a big man to admit those things, Ben. Now, don't worry. We'll find the boy. But you've got to make me a promise. No more tall tales, huh?
Oh, sure.
Come on, let's go.
Thanks.
Down, down.
If anything happens to Bobby, I'll never forgive myself.
Well, he can't be far, Ben. We better separate here. You search one side of the valley, and I'll take the other. First one to find him will fire 3 shots.
All right, Sergeant.
King, you must find Bobby.
On your huskies. Oh!
Bobby! Bobby! Bobby!
On your huskies.
Here, King. Here, boy, come on up here. These tracks are fresh, King. We're getting close.
Bobby! Bobby, can you hear me?
Well, it's up to you, old boy, to find him. Go ahead.
Whoa! Bobby!
Good boy, King. You'll be all right, boy, thanks to you.
All right, there you are, Bobby.
Now, you get a good night's rest. Your grandfather and I have some plans to discuss about rounding up the gold thieves. I'll leave King with you until you fall asleep. Good night.
Good night, Sergeant Preston.
And you'll be all right after a good night's rest.
You know, I sure appreciate what you said, Sergeant. Talking about the way I help you. I know that was just for Bobby to hear, of course.
Then, the most important thing in that boy's life is his faith in you. It mustn't be destroyed. You tell those tall tales as a cover-up because you think you're a coward. Now, you must prove otherwise. If you expect Bobby to believe in you, Ben, you must first believe in yourself.
I hadn't thought of it that way. Of course, I'll do anything you say.
Good. Now, do you suppose you can give me a description of those thieves?
Well, one was a medium man, and the other one was husky, and he had a red beard.
That description fits Duke Larson and Red Brody. Ben, how often do you take your gold into Dundee?
Oh, maybe twice a month. There's no set time.
I see. That meeting on the trail was no accident. Did you tell anyone in Dundee that you were planning to move the gold?
Well, most of us miners have credit with Weber. We usually let him know when we're going to pay up.
Hans Weber's an honest man. Duke and Red must get their information from someone that spends a lot of time around the trading post. At least that's the way they operated around Dawson. Ben, we're going to set a trap for them.
Sergeant Preston outlined a plan for capturing the thieves. The first step was for old Ben to draw them out into the open, and the bait was more gold.
There you are, Bobby.
Bobby, I want you to go inside now where it's warm, and I'll put the dogs away. We're going to spend the night here, but we're going to have a big dinner to celebrate finding you.
Bye, Sergeant Preston.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye, King.
Think you can go through with the plan, Ben?
You bet I can. I never want Bobby to doubt me again.
Good. Well, Ben, nice seeing you after all this time. Next time you're in Dawson, look me up, will you?
You bet I will, and thanks again.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hi!
Gee, Grandpa, that was some supper. I'm full.
You know it's time for you to go to bed, Bobby. Now, you go on up to our room, and I'll be along pretty soon now.
Good night, Grandpa. And thanks.
Good night, Bobby. Fire feels awful good.
Reckon we had you figured all wrong, Ben. That is about you knowing Sergeant Preston.
Well, anybody can make a mistake.
Did you tell the sergeant how you let those outlaws get away with all your gold, Ben, without lifting a finger to stop them?
Well, who said that was all the gold I had? As a matter of fact, I may have fooled those crooks. You can never tell.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for instance, I may have the better part of my gold hidden up at my cabin. That is, in a safe place.
It's another one of your tall tales, Ben.
Well, maybe not. But I ain't saying for sure, mind you.
If you say it isn't true, I bet you it is.
You afraid someone will ransack your cabin at night if you stay away, Ben?
No, sir, I ain't scared a bit, because you can't find a thing unless I'm there. Well, good night, men. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Ben.
Bart, I thought you were going to stay in town and keep us posted on Sergeant Preston.
He's gone back to headquarters. Besides, I happen on some good news.
Another miner bringing in some gold dust?
Now it's about old Ben Taylor. He's been bragging how he outsmarted the two men who held him up. Says he still has most of his gold hidden in his cabin.
Oh, what do you know?
Is old Ben still at the trading post?
Yeah, he and the boy are gonna stay over till morning.
All right, what are we waiting for? This will be easy.
Except for one thing.
What's that?
He says he has such a good hiding place that nobody could find his gold.
In that case, we'll wait till in the morning. Let the old man help us.
Deal me in.
Hi!
Wonder why the kid isn't with him.
Maybe got to worrying about what he said last night. Decided to dig up his gold and bring it back to the trading post.
We'll take care of it for him. We'll wait here, King. If Ben's act was successful, we'll get some action soon.
Hi!
Where's Grandpa, Mr. Weber?
He just went out for a while. He'll be back for you later, but you must stay here.
Was he going to meet Sergeant Preston?
How should I know? That sure was funny, the way he fooled them crooks.
Fooled them?
Yeah.
How?
Well, he was telling everybody that the gold is still in the old cabin. He was bragging about it. He sure did fool them.
Whoa!
Mark, you stay here and keep your eyes open for anyone coming along the trail.
Say, what do you mean busting in my cabin like this?
We came to get the rest of that gold you held out on us, Ben.
Where is it?
Oh, the gold. Now, let me see. Where did I hide it? You know, the older I get, the more trouble I seem to have remembering. And shucks, right now I don't seem to remember.
You better remember. It won't be so funny if you don't hurry up and give us that gold.
Well, now, don't be too hasty, because I seem to never have trouble remembering when I'm looking into six-shooters. But listen, ain't you the same two gents that held me up?
Stop gabbing and show us where you hid the
Oh,
gold.
sure. It's over there in the corner behind those boards, but...
Keep them covered, Red.
Sit down.
There's nothing here. Why, you old busted, what kind of trick is this?
It's a trick to catch you both red-handed, and you took the bait. You're both under arrest in the name of the Crown. Men, get their guns. Get over there, Red. Move.
Bobby, what are you doing here?
Bobby, I told you to stay at Mr. Weber's trading post.
I wanted to help you catch the crooks.
Ben, take Bobby back to the trading post at once. You've done your part.
Oh, golly, can't I watch?
You heard the sergeant. We're gonna get back home. Come on. Yeah.
All right, Preston. I got a gun in the old man's ribs. Unfasten yours and put it on the table unless you want him to get hurt. Good work, Bart.
It's all my fault.
It's all right, kid. We're glad you came. Now, you just get right over against that wall and don't you move. All right, Bart, tie up the old man. The dog, Mountie. Lock him up in the bedroom or I'll kill him.
It's all right, boy. It's all right.
And lock it. All right, Fred. Tie up the Mountie right over there.
Sit down. What's that?
Bobby, get me that knife. Hurry.
All right, King, that's enough. Ben, get your gun and help me keep these men covered until they're all safely handcuffed. All right, on your feet. Get over that corner, Bart. Come on, move. Thanks to good teamwork, Ben. These men are on the way to Dawson for trial. Thanks, Bobby. And at the hideaway cabin, we not only recovered Ben's gold, but we found a lot of other stolen money and gold as well. Then it'll be returned to its rightful owners. So you see, Ben not only helped himself, but he helped others.
So you're a hero now, eh, Ben? Sergeant, I've been telling everybody someday is going to prove it.
Hello.
Just think. You're now being deputized to take the prisoners over to Dawson, eh?
Grandpa's about the bravest man in the whole world, I bet.
Oh, I'll admit that I was a mite bit scared being tied to a chair, but it kind of cramped my style. I can remember once over in Whitehall.
Ben, King just trying to remind you of a certain promise you made.
I promise. Look, I'll be going over to Dawson for a couple of days now, Bobby, but I want you to mind Mr. Weber, and this time I want you to stay.
I promise.
Well, we'd better get started with our prisoners, Deputy Ben. Bye, Hans. Bye, Bobby. Well, King, this case is closed.